So like I said, this week we're going to keep it broad. The University of Washington Huskies football team hosts the Oregon State Beavers this weekend. It's a game they're favored by 33.5 points. They should win. Again, you can't expect it, Lacey. Can't expect to win, but they should, okay? So we're at the midway point of the season. Is Chris Peterson in the discussion for Coach of the Year? Lacey, what do you think?
Well, just you took the words out of my mouth. You can't expect any win, so let's take that one seriously.
Okay.
But the Dogs will win this weekend.
Okay, I will.
Chris Peterson, I think, has done a phenomenal job with this football team. The Huskies lead the Pac-12 in scoring offense and scoring defense. He was named Pac-12 Coach of the Mid-Year. But having said that, I know that's just in the Pac-12, and we're looking at a much larger map here. I think he's definitely going to be in the discussion, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to compete with some of the other coaches in the league.
That's fair.
When it comes to Washington versus Oregon State this coming weekend, my thoughts are, Washington is 6-0. Their role rested coming off its bye week after destroying Oregon 2 weeks ago, 70-21. Barring a minor miracle, the Huskies are going to win this ball game. The only detail is by the final margin. But while that spread is certainly stiff at 33.5, Oregon State is down its top two quarterbacks and is going against the 7th-ranked defense in the country. Also, Washington won this matchup last season from 52-7. So in my opinion, the smart money runs here with the Huskies. I went out of network, got a quote from, in my opinion, one of the biggest Husky fans I know, and this is his thoughts on the game. My expectation is a well-rested, disciplined UW team to take care of business against a well-coached but rebuilding Oregon State team plagued with injuries. They're playing their third-string quarterback against the best defense in the Pac-12, and although coming off a great overtime win against Cal at home, I think purple will continue to reign in Seattle, and Dogs win 52-10. Thank you so much, Micah Slifer. When it comes to the coaching question about Chris Peterson, I think he should be in the conversation. Yes, giving it to Nick Saban would be a layup. No disrespect to Nick Saban. He's, in my opinion, one of the hardest workers in Division I football and deserves to be up there as well. But the Huskies were 7-6 last year. So as Chris Brown would say, look at them now.
Drew, what do you think?
You guys took the words right out of my mouth. This is going to be just a roll. This is not, you might as well not even turn the TV on. You might as well just watch the highlights. It's going to be an absolute roll. Now, absolutely, Coach Peterson should be in the Coach of the Year conversation. Absolutely. But right now, if you look at the major programs, everything, he probably sits 3 or 4 on the list behind the layups, as you put it, Kellen. So will he probably win? No. Should he win for what he's taken this program, from what it was to what it is now? Yes, but it's really easy to give it to Nick Saban and the guys who've been doing it so well for so long.
Drew, you've said it before. Jake Browning is a big reason why this team has been successful. Drew, you've said that he should be on Heisman watch. Midway point of the season, who's everybody's Heisman winner?
I'm going to say I did some research. The top 4 players on Heisman watch are all quarterbacks right now. And the difference, Jake Browning stands 4th in that list. And the difference between Jake and the 3 players that are currently ahead of him is the rushing stats. Jake has run in 3 touchdowns this season, but only has 48 total yards rushing all season. Of the other potential Heisman winners, the quarterbacks ahead of him, the next lowest rushing yards on the season is Deshaun Watson from Clemson with 279. So that's a significant difference there. And if I were voting for a Heisman player, I'd want to pick someone who is a little more versatile, who had more options on offense there. So the 3 that stand ahead of Browning right now are Lamar Jackson of Louisville, Deshaun Watson of Clemson, and J.T. Barrett of Ohio State. But that's my opinion, guys. From there, I don't know who I'd pick.
Christian, yeah, I did say he needed to be on Heisman watch, and look at what do you know, all of a sudden he pops up on the Heisman watch list as of last week. He's received 21 total votes with 2 second-place votes and 3 third-place votes. However, I don't think he will win because there's that bias that we always talk about. From the southern borders all the way over to the east, there's that bias. If I had to put my money on it right now, I said at the very beginning of our college football talks, and it would be Lamar Jackson hands down for the season. He's got 1,800 yards. He's got close to a 60% completion rating. He's up to about 10 yards an attempt. He's got 15 TDs, only 4 interceptions. He's only taken 9 sacks on the year. Kid's having a fantastic year. It's awesome to see what's going on. I think the biggest endorsement of him was Michael Vick at the very beginning of this year after his first huge game. He says, this guy is better than me when I was at Virginia Tech right now. And it's been awesome to see Lamar Jackson play.
Yeah, I got to agree with both of you guys. I mean, in my opinion, it's Lamar Jackson's job to lose. You look at the Heisman winners of the last couple of years. I'm going back a decade now. Eric Crouch from Nebraska, who was a dual threat. Johnny Manziel, guys like that who can throw the ball and run the ball. Through 6 games, Jackson's compiled 1,806 yards through the air and 832 yards on the ground. Has 30 touchdowns overall, 15 apiece, throwing and running. Jake Brown, in my opinion, definitely deserves to be a top 3 candidate if he continues his spectacular play and the Huskies continue to win. In my opinion, the Heisman should be the best overall college football player. Again, the nice thing about Browning is, what is he? He's a sophomore. Mm-hmm. So, again, he has an amazing, bright future ahead of him. If he doesn't win it this year, again, there's always next year. But, again, he definitely deserves to be, in my opinion, in the running. And before the season started, I would have said my money's on Clemson, Deshaun Watson. I didn't really even know that much about Lamar Jackson. So before the season started, it'd be interesting to go back to sports broadcasters because I guarantee you nobody thought Lamar Jackson would be this good.
That's very interesting. Good stuff. All right, Huskies play Oregon State this weekend. A game they're favored in, like Drew said, should be a blowout, but we'll see. You never know.